Start live stream. Yeah, it's been a busy week. So you went out of town though, you said.
Yeah, for Easter. Yeah. It's not that
Mm.
far out of town. I was just going to be far enough away that I wasn't going to be able to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then yeah, and was shitty internet, so it's like, I ended up doing it probably on my cell phone, so it's kind of like,
Oh God, yeah. I don't know if that would have worked out too well.
Nah, it wouldn't have been nearly as fun.
No. Yeah. I mean, we already have enough trouble as it is getting these things set up. Doing it on the cell phone would have been, especially you'd sit there holding your cell phone for an hour plugged into a charger because it would probably die. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I got a Galaxy S6. The battery life isn't that great on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to like my live events right now so I can get to the control panel and figure out what's going on here. Because I don't know what the link is. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna mute that. Okay, I found the link. Found it. Gaming. I like the gaming.youtube because it looks cooler, like the black. So
Oh,
I use
right.
that. Yeah, so I
Right.
use that. It's already muted because I'm a boss and I already know how to mute things. So I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna message it to you.
Okay.
Um, I don't. You know what? You know what? This might be easier. I'm just gonna use Steam. Do you have Steam open? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do, actually.
Okay, that's actually easier for me because um, whenever I click on your name, it pop to see messages in Skype. It pops up on your
Oh,
face.
there it is. Yep. Okay.
So that way you can see me because otherwise you won't be able to see me because you just hear a voice. Yay! All right. So we're
Let's,
live and topic list for the most part. He has one topic. It's up there right
yeah, I've
now,
got one whole topic.
which is horribly cropped. Let me do some crop things. So go ahead and you can talk about your week real quick and what you've been
Oh
up to.
man, I've been working on my house a lot this week, besides work. So trying to get things ready so we can move back in. Was painting my office actually is why I'm a little late.
Oh,
But that's nice. That feels good to be doing that again.
so that's not the house you're living in though right now.
No, no,
You're
no. That's
moving
the
back.
house that the fire. Yeah, the house that burned. So we're almost. We'll probably be moving in maybe in 2 months. But yeah, we're just starting to do some prep painting and stuff. Still got some sheetrock work that has to be done. So the electrical is getting done currently in some of the places. So it's just a lot of action in some different areas right now. So it's kept me busy this week. So how was your week?
Um, I had a lot of random stuff at work. That's about it. Driving, picking up some motorcycles, dropping them off, basically that kind of stuff. And I bought a truck, like we were talking about. I got another one. So I was telling you, I have two trucks. I have a '97 Dakota, which is a V8
Oh, nice.
four-wheel drive, and it's lifted about 3 inches, and it sits on 31s. So it's a nice.
Sweet.
It's a really small truck too. Like as far as length goes, it's a standard cab and like a 6 foot bed. So
Hmm.
it's a really small one, but it has a brand new rebuilt engine, which I did, and
Oh, you rebuilt it yourself?
yeah, and then there was some other problems with it that I had, like as far as sensors go. So it ran like shit. Transmission slipped in second gear, but the transmission still drove fine. It just, like I said, it would slip.
Hmm.
But that and it had like the person who had it before me decided they wanted to paint parts of the frame green. So like in order to fix that, I would have to pull the bed off of it and everything off of it and repaint the whole frame, just to get rid of these retarded green and black accents they did that just looked terrible. Then they painted the rear differential for some reason, just stuff like that. And then I found a couple chopped wires. So basically, I was like, meh, I don't know if I really want to work on that anymore. So
Right.
I bought another truck, and that's the '98 V6, not four-wheel drive, not lifted. Sad. So it's a Dakota as well, though. It's the same length as the other one, just not as tall and not as beefy. But that one needed the brakes felt like shit, so I pulled a master cylinder out from my old truck and did some cleaning on the master cylinder, bled it, then threw it back on the truck, and that's when I was in the process of flushing the brakes when I was like, oh shit, I gotta do a live stream. So yeah, that's what I said. I was like struggling to like put the tires back on and drop the truck back down and run over here real quick. So I did the back end of it, and I gotta bleed the front end, and then I should be good as far as brakes go. It's got a small power steering leak. That's really all. It's got 120,000 miles on it,
Hmm.
and I bought it for $2,500.
Oh shoot, that ain't bad at all.
Yeah,
That
no,
ain't.
for a truck out here in Vegas, they get pretty pricey, pretty
Oh,
quick.
do they? Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, people love trucks out here. So like, even trucks with like two, like if it's like say you got like a 2002, 2003 with like 300,000 miles, 280,000 miles, which is a lot, they'll still be wanting like 3,500 for it. So it was a nice pickup, a decent come up. Is someone yelling at you? Oh, someone's talking to him. Shh.
Oh,
Well, anyways, you guys, other watchers, we have one topic so far, and Mike's looking for more while I rant. And that's basically it. Yeah, dude, I've pinched the crap out of my hands a few times to where I got like these giant blood welts on my like thumb and on my finger.
oh shit, that's not good.
I had one the size of like a little watch battery on my finger. It got pinched, and I just got one today. You can see it. It's like the black spot on my thumb. One of the jacks collapsed on me and
Oh,
pinched my finger. It wasn't a bad collapse, but like when I was pulling it down, it dropped down fast, and my finger was in a no point, and it pinched it. Yeah, that was nice. That hurt.
man. At least you didn't lose it, man. That's scary when you get into stuff like that. You could lose your finger pretty quick.
I almost broke my arm with my engine when I was rebuilding it. It was on an engine stand, and if you guys don't know how an engine stand is, but it basically bolts to the back of your motor and holds the engine up, and it's got this bar on the back of it where you can like turn the engine upside down and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I put my heads on, so my engine was extremely top heavy, and this is a
Oh.
5.2 V8 engine, so it's all iron cast heads, iron block,
So it's heavy.
huge engine. And I'm sitting there turning it, and when it hits a point like right here, the engine just flops over really hard.
Oh.
Well, I was working on it, and I had my hand on one of the support bars, and the engine randomly just flipped over on me, and the bar caught my arm and hit my arm and like bent it along the side of the support bar. So that hurt pretty damn bad and almost snapped my arm in two. So that was rough.
Oh, I
Yeah.
bet that did hurt.
Yeah, so I learned my lesson with that. Be careful with that friggin' bar. Yeah, no. Nah, rebuilding engines was fun when I was doing it, but like I don't know if I'd care to do it anymore, you know. I just wanted to do it once and see how it was. So that's why I got my other truck, because I'm gonna sell the V8. Sadly, it's gonna hurt to see it go, because like I said, I like how tall it is. It's got like a perfect lift on it. It's got nice tires. The tires on it are brand new.
And that was you said it was
V8.
97?
Yeah, 97 V8,
97.
5.2 liter. So it's a big 4-wheel drive truck, and I like it. But the main thing I'm gonna be sad seeing go is not the $3,500 I dumped in the engine, but the thing's got brand new 31-inch Bridgestone tires on it with like 100 miles on them.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a $900 set of tires.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's not cheap.
Yeah, so that's one of the only things. It's not like I said, it's not the $3,500 I dumped into the engine. It's those tires and the rims too. It's got like 15-inch off-road rims, so I don't want to lose them. But it's like I'm tired of having that thing sitting in my driveway, and I don't feel like chasing down chopped wires to figure out which sensor's not working right, because the wire harness is just tampered with from the guy who owned it before me, and I don't feel like dealing with that. So
I agree. That can cause you problems too.
yeah, no, I've already sat there for hours banging my head against the wall. Is that another topic?
Yeah.
Steam it to me so I don't have to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, I just don't like Steam showing up anything, because I know you sent me your phone number in Skype, and I don't want that to show up on the.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
I don't want to show that on previous messages. But yeah, no, I mean it was like I said, it was fun rebuilding the engine, and I did attempt to get it to run well, even though I knew the transmission would need a rebuild eventually. I just wanted to really build the engine, but running into too many problems and things, like I said, like the half painted frame, shit like that is just like, it's a hassle to fix. Probably only cost me a couple $100, but it's going to take me days to pull the whole truck down to the frame.
Oh,
And then paint it.
man.
And then put it, you know what I mean? And just randoms, like one of the drum brakes on the truck is painted green, with spray paint. And I'm
Oh.
like, why the fuck would you do that? So it's just little things like that. It's like that I don't like, and I don't want to. But the truck's got a rhino rhino lining in the bed,
Oh,
and
that's nice. Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice, got some decent upgrades. But like I said, too much work. Not gonna have fun with that anymore. My new truck is the V6 one, which I'll be working on that. I was so tempted to just drop the V6 out of it and put the V8 in it.
I
Call
know,
it a
right?
day.
That would be ideal, but that would probably be a lot of work.
Well, I need a new transmission. That V6 transmission's not going to work on the V8 engine.
Hmm.
Not to mention, I would be losing the four-wheel drive, which is kind of.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't off-road anyways. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal to me. I just
But
like it.
four-wheel drives are cool though.
Yeah, it's just a good feature, and that's one thing on my truck. The transmission was a piece of shit, but the four-wheel drive worked fine. So I don't know that. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that. Hello, hi, Skrill, nice vid. I don't know who's not that Omen means, but I know that he is. He knows me on Steam, obviously.
What is better, your Skylake build or your 350 build?
What do you think? I think the 350 build is that the one with the Pentium G
I think that's the Pentium G
versus
one, right?
versus the G44.
I think I'd
do
still do the
Skylake.
Skylake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do the Skylake too. I
So
do.
the thing that I found with the Skylake is that it didn't stutter when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4.
Right,
I'm
I
not
noticed
sure.
that.
I'm not sure if it's the memory controller or being on DDR4 or what the hell they're doing with as maybe it's the what is it called again? The instructions per clock.
Yeah, IPC.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they did on that Skylake Pentium versus the Haswell Pentium, but it'll run GTA without stuttering. So I'd go with that. Not to mention you're on the newest architecture until what they say they were later this year. They're supposed to release another one, aren't they? Intel.
Then I can't remember what it was.
It's
It's
some
got a
stupid name, something Lake.
yeah.
It reminds me of a chick's name. I can't remember. Yeah, you go ahead and look it up and you can find it.
KB Lake.
KB Lake. There we go. Chick's
KB
name.
Lake.
KB.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that doesn't make any sense to me. So apparently that's going to be. Didn't they say that was going to be kind of like the Devil's Canyon, was to Haswell, but to Skylake instead? So
Yep.
kind of like how they came out with the Haswell 1150 chipset. So they came out with the 40, was it 4670 and the 46 or 4770, and then they later came out with the 4690 and the 4790.
Yep.
It just slightly improved Haswell chips that were basically the same socket. I wonder if they're going to make that KB Lake the same socket as Skylake. They better.
Yeah, 1151. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
it's gonna be,
We're
so
still
it's
good.
literally just going to be a Haswell refresh style, except instead of being called Haswell refresh or Devil's Canyon, they're going to call it something completely different, like it's a new
Interesting.
architecture.
Yeah, interesting. They're still going to keep the DDR3L support like Skylake has. Although I don't think I've seen a motherboard of the DDR3, or excuse me, Skylake motherboard with the DDR3L.
I
But it looks
haven't
like
seen it.
yeah, KB Lake, or if I'm saying that right, it's gonna support DDR3 and DDR4, which I think is kind of dumb, but should only be one or the other. But weird.
He's got another question for us about 750 Ti versus the R7 360.
God, I'm terrible because I'm such an Nvidia fan.
I will
terrible.
say
That's
this,
a bad
okay.
question.
Back in the day, if you put a 750 or 750 Ti against the 260X, the 260X usually came ahead by a little bit.
Oh, did it?
By
Oh.
very marginal amounts. They would honestly trade back and forth. But the 260X, but the 360 is a redid version of the 265. So it's a refreshed version of the 265, which supposedly was better than the 260X, but I don't buy that because I remember I had a 280X and I was comparing it to the 285, and my 280X just inhaled that 285 without an issue, especially at like higher resolution. But the R7 360 solid end does support DirectX 12. The 750 Ti, as far as we know, doesn't.
That's true.
So
right.
if you're playing the new Tomb Raider with DirectX 12 support or Ashes of a Singularity, go with the 360.
Yeah, I think I would go definitely with whatever had the DirectX 12 support. So yeah, I probably at that point I would dump the 750 Ti.
Well, the 750 Ti is good. When I had the 360 and the 750 Ti, I did kind of do, like, I didn't put it on my channel, but I did do some testing for myself to see. 750 Ti was edging out the 360 in a lot of games, but not every game and not by enough to really notice. It was like anywhere from 1 frame to 4 frames. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot. But that's also on DirectX 11 games. You know what I mean? None of them were DirectX
Right.
12 games. So honestly, it wouldn't really matter. I would go with the 360 just because it generally runs cheaper. Usually the 360 is only $100 even, and a 750 Ti can still run up to anywhere from 120 to 130.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that. DirectX 12, kind of a noob. You're a super noob. You don't know DirectX 12? I'm just kidding.
That's okay. We're just yeah.
It's
It's no problem.
it's API. It's graphics card language. There you go. It's a translator.
Yeah.
Simplest way to put it.
Yep. It kind of is a. It allows the software to talk to the hardware, and it kind of is an interpreter. Would probably be the best thing. It
There you go.
interprets for the software to the hardware. So the hardware maker supports DirectX 12, and the software knows how to talk to DirectX 12. And DirectX is there's 11 and all the way it goes all the way down. I don't know where it started. Did it start at 1? Was it just
I
DirectX?
would assume that they originally had an original DirectX if they're all the way at 12.
Yeah, I would
Usually, it
think
won't
so
put
too.
numbers on it. You know.
Right. I would think so that it started, but each one added new features for
Yeah,
the software to talk to the hardware.
and
And
not
DirectX 12 is supposed to be the
yeah.
fastest DirectX ever.
Well, it's supposed to change the way DirectX or the APIs. It's video card language. Yeah, there you go. That's what we were trying to dumb it down for him. And also trying to give him more an in-depth view. But yeah, it's supposed to be a lot better as far as how it talks to your hardware. It's supposed to give lower level access. They've been working with AMD for it when AMD came out with their Mantle, which surprisingly was an extremely good thing, and it pushed Microsoft into making DirectX 12 better. And it's mostly giving the advantage to Radeon cards because of the asynchronous computing, right? Yeah, that's what it's called, asynchronous computing.
I think you're right. Yep.
And
Yep.
that is basically only in Radeon cards. You won't see that in NVIDIA cards. They haven't been doing that yet. And AMD's been doing it for like the last 5 years or something like that. So AMD's been doing this for a long time. NVIDIA hasn't. Basically, it's not saying that now an AMD card will be better in DirectX 12 than an NVIDIA card. It's basically saying that the improvements that each card will get will be better. So, oh wow, we're hovering at like 3,800 kilobits per second. By the way, we haven't dropped at all, so that's awesome.
Good.
But anyways, yeah, better optimized. Yeah, just it's overall just better. But I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, Nvidia versus AMD. That's what we were talking about. Okay, so it's not necessarily going to make an Nvidia card run worse or better than an AMD card. What it's going to do is say your Nvidia card is getting 60 FPS in this game, and a general improvement for an Nvidia on DirectX 12 would be what 65,
Probably,
67.
yeah.
And then
10%. Maybe,
yeah.
yeah.
And then if you go to an AMD card that was getting 40 frames per second, it will now be getting like 60, 70, 80 depending on the game.
Yeah, it's a big jump for AMD.
Yeah,
It is.
so basically AMD's taking a large jump to where their lower end, half the price of a 980 Ti cards are competing with the 980 Ti in DirectX 12 simply because that asynchronous computing. So, yeah. Skrillzilla, not that hoe. Oh, that means he plays I feel like rating some. He plays Ark with me. I don't know who
Oh.
Not Van Omen is. I don't know who that is. It's one of my friends. He probably just
Mhm.
came here. I don't know which one he is. I'm not sure. So, yeah, you can tell me who you are. Whatever your name is. I don't. Hi, buddy. Though we probably talk a lot on TeamSpeak. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Anything fun you want to talk about real quick? I've been ranting about AMD and DirectX 12 for a while.
Uh, not anything that I can think of off the top of my head that's going on. I might come up with some more stuff as we go along the way a little bit.
Oh, cool thing, dude. Oh shit.
Yeah, what?
I broke it. Okay, so I have one of these. It's a screen protector for my new phone. Okay, so I didn't know that they made glass ones of these. So I bought two of them.
Mhm.
So it looks like, the regular film, except it's not really flexible. Like it's like plexiglass, plasticky. So, anyways, I had one of these on my phone and I dropped my phone and this thing cracked.
But not the screen.
No, not the screen.
Okay.
But I'm
But
thinking,
the thing cracked.
yes, and it was like glass. Like I said, it's a glass. It like straight says here on the box, glass screen protector. So I don't know if I would have had like those regular, non or very flexible ones, filmy ones. I don't think it would have cracked. I don't think my screen would have cracked either. I just think this thing cracked because it was crackable. So that happens. I mean, I have a second one luckily, but yeah, it totally cracked. So for the future proofing, getting the R7, honestly, there's no such thing as future proofing when it comes to computers, man. I mean, think about all the guys who just bought a Skylake CPU. They're totally about to get outdated when that Kaby Lake comes out. That they didn't even have their CPU for like what, a year. So yeah.
Yeah, Didn't it come out last May?
Oh, Steam me.
Or when did
Steam messaged me the topics, but go ahead, Skylake. I don't know when Skylake came out. If that's what you were gonna ask.
God, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I know that it wasn't too long ago. I would say that if you want better performance in games like Tomb Raider, Ashes of a Singularity, anything that's going to be running on the new Unreal 4 engine, go for AMD. Just because as far as DirectX 12, they're doing good right now. I would get the 3... Yeah, exactly. I have a 980 Ti, and honestly, I don't have anything against AMD. I just want what performs better. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you have the budget that allows that, then obviously you're going to end up with a very expensive NVIDIA card.
Let's see. So let's grab this, and
I didn't get a Steam message saying the.
Oh,
link.
I haven't sent it yet. I've been screwing around over here.
I'm not sure what he's saying. That stinks. You got to remember, you're a little bit behind us in chat. So like when you say a chat, we might have moved on from what we were talking about like 30 seconds ago. But I mean, dude, honestly, you can't go wrong at that low of a price range. You can't go wrong in either direction you want to go. It's not going to kill it. It's not going to make it worse or better. You know what I mean? You won't notice a difference between either one you get. So it's really not going to be a problem. I wouldn't worry about it. So if you want to get a 750 Ti, by all means, go and get yourself a 750 Ti. I would just pick the cheapest one since the performance is so close. You know what I mean? If you could save 20, 30 bucks and get yourself put that money towards an SSD or something, I would do that instead and get the R7 360. So we can go ahead and talk about the one topic. Oculus Rift, we'll do that one first. Best VR experience yet, reviewers say. So is this like the 5th iteration of Oculus or whatever?
I think it's the 3rd, right? Or the 4th?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't keep up on it because I don't want to get hyped until it's done. Until it's affordable. And obviously costs $600. Not affordable. Not for me. I mean, $600 will get you the highest end tier GPU. Or a $300 GPU, $400 GPU, and an i5. You know what I mean? You could get yourself like a 390X and an i5 for $600. You know? So I wouldn't do that. It's too expensive for me. But you go ahead and talk about it real quick. And I'll look up topics while you do that.
Sure, yeah. I've heard a lot of positive about it on the YouTube side with other tech channels, and I'm kind of looking forward to. I don't think it's this iteration. I think it's going to be the next one. I think will be a lot better. But so far, it looks like people are saying positive things. I'd like to try it, but I don't think I could buy it. I don't think I could spend $600 because right now I think it's more of like a gimmick currently. It just seems like it's a little far out there. And I have a PC that is VR ready, if you will. So I shouldn't have any problems using it. But I just hate to be the first part. Or be the first adopter to this thing, and then have the next one be like infinitely better. So I probably will get on board.
It sounds like everything in PC generation ever.
Yeah, right. I guess that's true, right?
It sounds exactly what everything. Yeah, it's like, oh, I got a Haswell 4790K. This thing's a beast. It's a monster. Skylake 6700K comes out.
Oh,
thank
gotta
God.
get it.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Or it's like, I imagine how the people who would like man, I got so much money to spend on a graphics card. I'm an AMD fanboy. Let's get a 290X. 6 months later, the 295X comes out.
And then you want to
Oh my
kick
God.
yourself.
Exactly. So what is the hardware stuff in the end of this? Do you know?
I thought the minimum recommended was a GTX 970 is
No,
what
I
I
mean
thought.
the hardware inside of the actual
Oh,
headset.
inside of the
Is it
boy,
like, are they gonna do like a high refresh rate 1440 as well? Because I think that's what they found is the best.
that's what I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm leaning towards 1440 is what's in there, but I'm surprised this article doesn't say, and I just kind of pulled this one out of my ass, so it's not saying that I can tell in the article.
So it says that it comes with a single Xbox controller.
Yep. I did see that.
Motion
And
support is not it's still in the works. Motion controller support. So cutting the cord, I'm not sure. Does that mean they're cutting off the cord for this one, or is that something they want to take care of in the future? What do you think?
Yeah. Are we? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I had some audio issues there for a second, so I'm back. Okay. We're good.
Oh, well, I was talking about the cutting the cord. Does that mean that this one's not going to have a cord, or will it have a cord? Is it
This
gonna be
one here
wireless?
does. This one here does have a cord. I think it takes two USB 3s and one for the. I think one for the actual unit, and then one for the sensor, and then it uses HDMI off your graphics card.
Okay, so it's gonna have a couple wires sticking out of it.
Yeah.
So
Three-
so
yep,
the
three-
cutting the cord thing is just something they want to do in the future.
Right.
Yeah,
Although,
see, this is-
although when you cut the cord, then you have battery, and I wonder if that isn't going to be a pain in the ass to deal with a battery.
Is Dark Souls 3 out already?
I think so.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm gonna put that up there because we're gonna talk about that in a little bit because my brother is a huge Dark Souls 3 fan or Dark Souls fan. So was my ex roommate, and I've never played the game really. I did a little bit of PvP in it, like they just hand me the controller and I'd go and fight people. But I hope that one of your topics is the new Tesla. Do you want to look up the Tesla I was talking about real quick?
I'm on it right at the moment.
Looks like on a Shark Tank.
The Model 3, I believe, right?
He said it looks like it was on a Shark Tank. But either way, like I was saying, I've never actually really played Dark Souls besides messing around on multiplayer. But I have seen a lot of the game played and unbeaten several times because my brother and my ex-roommate would literally just sit on the couch playing that game. If one wasn't playing it, the other one was. So I saw a lot of that game, so I want to see what they had to say about it if it's already released. I don't know if I'll be getting it. I would like to play it, but dude, I barely have time to play games that I already, love playing as it is. So I'd rather not get another game that I'm not going to play. We'll see, though. We'll see in the future. Maybe I'll be able to get that
Yeah,
a little better.
you spend quite a bit of time on Left 4 Dead 2, don't you?
If I get time, yes.
If you get time.
Night I played for like 2 hours, which is a total of like 2 games. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that's all I've really had to play all week. I think I played like maybe 30 minutes. It's just the new job, and then on top of the job, which is why my channel has been so shitty lately. I haven't been uploading, is because I've been busy. I get off work and I went out, bought that truck, and just every day I'm out there, working on it because I need it. I want to make sure it's in tip-top shape to be driving by the time I get it registered. I'm getting it registered tomorrow. So
Okay.
since, like I said, I have to plan it on my days off because if I don't, the truck won't have plates, which means it can't sit in the street, which means it has to go in my driveway. I park my bike in the garage. So every morning I have to back the truck up out of the driveway, pull my bike out of the garage, and then pull the truck back in. It's really annoying. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
so that's why I've been busy, is because I've been working on that truck every day to get it, up to par. To make it's like I could drive it. It drives fine. I don't want to do any damage to it or blow anything up if I don't have to. I want to make sure it's good to be driving around.
It's
You should-
reliable, yeah.
Yeah, you should always do that when you buy a used car. Like for instance, I'm doing the oil change because I don't know what weight oil they put in there. I know that they overfilled it. I don't know how old it is. I don't know how old the oil filter is. So I'm just gonna dump the whole thing and refill it. So just stuff like that, oil change. Like I said, I pulled the brake booster out, the master cylinder, replaced it, cleaned it. Took the one out of my old truck because I know my old truck worked just fine. So yeah, that all had to happen, and I've just been super busy with that and work, and it means that I don't get to upload shit to my channel. Literally, the last month and a half is literally the only uploads have been these talk shows.
Me too. Yeah.
So I'm sorry for everyone there. Don't worry. I'm not gonna give up on them. I just am busy at the moment. You know what I mean? I got the stuff going on.
It's funny too. Speaking of making videos, it takes a lot longer, I think, than most people realize to upload a video. It does.
Yeah,
because you got to get your own data.
Well, yeah. Well, 10 minutes worth of shooting. Let's say, okay, you have a 10-minute video. You know how many times I've went to hit record or forget to hit record on the camera or forget to hit record on my audio, or just something doesn't sound right. Not to mention outtakes.
Oh,
you gotta remember how many times we'll sit there and do a certain like little set or something before we get one that we like. And then after you do that, so let's say 10 minutes worth of shooting takes you 30 minutes, including setting everything up. You know what I mean? Making sure my desk doesn't look like a Yeti took a shit on it before I start filming. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It takes time. And then once you get that, you got to go into editing. And then you're in editing. So like me, I sync up the audio because I don't use a lab mic or anything that hooks up to my camera. I use a different dedicated mic hooked up directly to my computer. So I sync up my audio. Then I sit there and watch. So say I recorded a 10-minute video. In total, it came out 18 minutes long because of outtakes and shit. So I'm going to sit there and cut and snip the file all the way down all the videos, put some intro music, put some music randomly here if I need some stuff popping up here, So it takes a while, a 10-minute video could end up taking 3 hours easily, you know what I mean? Before
and
you
then,
get it
and
uploaded.
and then just before you're ready to render it, you find out you made a mistake, and then you have to go back and shoot an entire clip over. Or sometimes, if you're lazy, which I've done before, you put the little blurb in the front of the screen that says, where you put an asterisk and say,
Yes.
I meant to say, or
Oops.
pain in the, it's terrible. Well, I mean, I shouldn't, it's not terrible, but it definitely takes time, or the less time you spend, the sloppier it is.
Yeah, definitely.
And it looks easy. It looks easy, but I like when people come on my videos and they're like, "Oh, that was a shitty video." Well, sometimes it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah,
it really
especially
is.
like I said, I get I'm up at 6 a.m. and I get home around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. So it means I need to be in bed in like 2 hours. So it's like if I want to make a video, I have to hustle that video out in like an hour and a half, so I have enough time to eat dinner. You know what I mean? So I can go to bed and wake up not feeling like crap. You know what I mean? My job can be very physically demanding, so I need energy. You know what I mean? I can't show up to work tired, because then, especially I'm moving around. Like I said, I move around a lot of motorcycles, so I'll be pushing $20,000, $30,000 bikes around all day long. Some of these bikes can weigh 600, 700, 800 pounds. I'm not going to risk dropping one of those because I'm tired. You know what I mean?
You don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, they're expensive. I mean, just dropping it on its side, like we had a guy drop it, scratch the side, the whole side fairing. Fairing was like $800 for a piece of plastic.
Yeah.
There's these little chrome accents that are like, let me get on my camera, about that long and about that wide, $80 each. It's just a little chrome accent. That's all it is. $80 each. And those are like super easy to break and scratch.
And you said they were BMW, right?
Yeah, it's a BMW.
Yeah.
So that probably should have just said that and just left it at that. They're BMW motorcycles that are very expensive and I don't want to drop.
Right.
But it's a dealership, so we do take in trade-ins as well. So we have Ducati bikes, we have Harleys, we have Triumphs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We do take in trade-ins, and I do have to move those and ride them around and stuff. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes also. For instance, I didn't get a lot of sleep one night, and it wasn't due to staying up late. It was just I couldn't sleep well. And out of the blue, my boss is like, "Hey, man, saddle up. You're going to Utah." So it's like I'm like tired, and I was not in the mood that day. But out of nowhere, I got to drive to fucking 3 hours there, pick someone up in Utah and his bike, and then drive all the way home. I didn't get back in town until 7:30. You know what I mean? And I'd been up since 6 that morning, and I'd been driving all fucking day. And that's another thing. I don't want to drop a customer's bike, especially in front of them.
Man, right, yeah. Exactly.
So this
Here's
guy,
your bike, clunk.
Yeah, this guy broke down in the middle of nowhere on his way to Colorado. So he was at St. George in Utah,
Mm-hmm.
So they sent me down there to go pick him up. It's 170 miles there, 170 back. And here goes the best part about this. I had to drive home with the guy. So, like, I picked his bike up, but then I had to take him with me. You know, not just going to leave him on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, basically, I had to have a 3.5 hour road trip with some guy I'd never met before. So, I mean, you could, once again, another thing why I don't like to be at work tired. So, I don't even attempt to make videos because I'll stay up late editing and doing all that stuff. And if I, like I said, if I drop someone's bike or just am not, or crash a company car because I was too tired, that would be all bad. That would be my job. So, and probably getting sued for insurance and stuff like that.
Or you could hurt somebody too.
Yeah,
and that would be
definitely.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, then you're really in big shit.
Yep. All right. Well, since we bought enough time there, just kind of chit chatting, we can go into the Intel Xeon E526 V4 Broadwell EP review. So what is this? What socket is this on?
This is 2011 V3.
Oh,
And
so
yeah.
Wait, this is V4.
But this is the 2011 V3 socket though. It's V4 of the Xeon,
So
but
this
it goes on 2011 V3 socket.
So these will fit in X99.
Yep.
Really?
That's what I'm understanding. They're ready for the 2011-3 socket. I'm looking forward to. I'm actually looking forward to this because this must mean that Broadwell E is right around the corner as well too. Is what I'm guessing.
Okay. So screw the Haswell E, the 5820Ks and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
curious what are they going to bring to the to the playing field with Broadwell E, because Haswell E, it had some upgrades from because I'm on Ivy Bridge E is what I'm on, so I didn't see quite enough to go to Haswell E. So I'm actually curious if Broadwell is going to be the reason to go to the X99 socket or the 2011-3, or am I just going to wait for Skylake E? I can't decide. I'm kind of right in the middle. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Broadwell E brings to the deal. But they're talking like the Xeon here is going to have up to 22 cores and 44 threads.
And $5,000 price tag.
Oh, I'm sure. But I like the I have the 4930K. So I got the middle of the road. I can't spend $1,000 on a processor, but if you spend $500 on a processor and you use it. You got to use it. I mean, you can't just buy it to look at a web page.
Yeah.
You buy that processor, you use it, and you can get your value out of it over a year or two. 2 years is nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm about 2 years into my Ivy Bridge E, and I'm curious if we're looking at the successor for me. So this kind of got me excited, seeing that, okay, Xeon usually comes out first, it seems like, and then we should see, I'm thinking, knock on wood, we should see a Broadwell E consumer chipset.
Yes. Well, a Broadwell E, won't that come out on a different socket? Don't you think they'll do a different socket?
I'm wondering. I thought they were, but if Broadwell Xeons are on the same socket, I'm wondering if Broadwell consumer grade is going to be on the same socket. That's what I'm kind of. That's
well,
what
honestly, one of the whole reasons I haven't gone to the Haswell E, the 5820K, was because I was like, I feel like I'm going to buy it, and then 6 months later, the new Broadwells are going to come out, and it's not like you know what I mean. It's not like I was like, oh god, then I'm I don't have the newest stuff. It's not even that. It's just the fact that if I have a chance to get the newest stuff, I want to take it. I mean, the 4970K at 4.8 gigahertz is not holding anything back right now.
That's true.
I literally, the only reason I'd be upgrading is just because I want it.
Mm-hmm.
And video editing stuff. You know what I mean? Some faster render times. Other than that, there's no real reason for me to do it. And if that's the reason that I am going to be doing it, then I want to make sure that I'm at least going to get the newest tech, get the newest that I can possibly get. So yeah, that'll be nice. I mean, like I said, I hope that they introduce a different motherboard. I want something. Give me the X100.
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason I might skip this one and wait for the next one too. If this one is on the same motherboard, it makes it a little harder.
Yeah, it's gonna be using the same. Southbridge and basically the same tech. It's not going to be anything new, If anything, I'd be happy
Probably.
if this came out. If it's on, well, oh yeah, they're pushing back its 10 nanometer process. Did you hear about that?
Yeah,
Actually,
I did see that. Yep,
I
yep.
should probably get that up as a thing so we can talk about it.
Sure.
Let me find that adds a new process. So
Shit, this Xeon here, it can have up to 55 megabytes of cache. That's insane.
50 what?
It can have up to 55 megabytes of L3 cache.
That's kind of ridiculous.
That's
Yeah, the
that's-
only thing, if this is on the X99 socket, like the same motherboards, then I'll just hope to God that this just drops the price of the 5820K. Wait, this is 14 nanometer. What
yeah,
is
this
the
is 14.
what is the current 5820K?
I thought it was 22. Let me
Is it
see.
really?
I might be wrong. Let's see. 58.
I'm already googling it.
You're there.
Yep, I forgot to put a K there.
I
I thought it was the same as
20. It's 22 nanometer. The 58.
Oh wow! So this is literally just dropping it almost in half.
Yep.
So that might be a reason to go to Broadwell then,
That's my thought.
because
Yeah,
then
but-
it might overclock higher. If you can get one of these extreme edition chips to hit like 4.7, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be very nice.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize the 5820K has 15 megabytes of cache. So it's got quite a bit too, really.
Well, yeah, their extreme editions are no joke.
Yeah.
The only problem with the 5820K that people were having was like what 32 or 38 PCIe lanes.
Yeah. It
Which
does have.
I mean,
it
if you're
does.
not running 4 graphics card and a PCI SSD, what's it matter?
I tell you what, I've been really turned off by SLI lately. Anyway, I have
Yeah.
been. It's just not. I don't know. It seems like it's more of a friggin' hassle, and you don't get as much performance for the money. So I think I'm just gonna buy every time I upgrade graphics, I'm just gonna buy the top tier, whatever 80 Ti, or probably not Titan.
80
Titan's a bit
Ti.
ridiculous. I mean, if it's, I've seen rumors it's gonna be 1080 Ti. I've seen some. They don't. No one really knows what they're gonna call the next one, but I don't think I'm gonna buy a deal for SLI anymore, and I think I'm just gonna skip it. Because I used to buy one card and then I would wait for 6 months and then buy a second card.
Didn't
But
you
shit.
have SLI before
Yeah,
this card?
Yeah, I did before this.
Did you have like stuttering issues and stuff like that, or
Well, I didn't
some
have
games?
I didn't have anywhere near double the performance. So then you start looking at going, well, if it's $500 a card, because that was 980. I had 980 SLI, and I tell you what, another $500. I didn't get $500 worth of performance, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I did. And that's just, to me, it's like shit. I mean, you would expect something, but sometimes in some games SLI didn't even work. Not even mention stuttering. I mean,
Yeah.
stuttering's a whole nother problem. But then some games didn't support it, or it was like a 10% increase. Well, that's a lot of money for 10%.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a bitchin' processor to take me a few generations rather than 2 graphics cards.
yeah, that'll.
Or a faster SSD or bigger SSD, I guess. Because
Yeah.
I remember the days of the 60 gigabyte SSD, and now I have a terabyte one. And I mean,
Oh wow.
I'd rather have a terabyte SSD for $300 than another 980 Ti.
I've never felt any. I have 2 120 gig SSDs in RAID 0, and I'm fine with that.
Hmm?
Cause I don't save a lot of stuff. Everything goes on my storage drive. So right now I have 800 gigabytes left out of my 2 terabyte storage. So I've used up a good amount, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
And then
right.
I have 92 gigs left on my 120 terabyte, or my 120 terabytes, or my 120, 240 SSDs. So I mean, that's fine with me. And I do like putting 2 SSDs in RAID 0. I'd rather have 2 500s in RAID 0 than 1 terabyte. And I
Okay,
know that people
yeah.
are like, oh, well, the failing and the yada yada, but I have my games that I put on there is Left 4 Dead 2 is my main one.
Mhm.
And that game has a lot to do when it comes to loading on your SSDs. It has a lot to do with your hard drive speed. So I like to load in first always. So because of that, I run, 2 SSDs.
Yeah.
Just to get that extra fraction of a second, you know what I mean, to get in
yeah.
earlier. So I like running 2 SSDs simply because it's faster. But I don't use them to store stuff on. My games, everything else is stored on my 2 terabyte. And I'm even looking at probably getting another second 2 terabyte, and then I'll probably pick up a 4 terabyte. And what I'll end up doing is putting my two Seagate 2 terabytes into RAID 0 and then going into Windows and doing a mirror RAID for the other 4 terabyte.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So that way, basically, one 4 terabyte hard drive is going to back up the other 2 terabytes in RAID 0. And then have, I was looking at maybe like 2 5 or 480 gig SSDs to run in RAID 0 for my SSD stuff. So that's for my storage upgrades, which I will eventually do. But first, I want to do either A, water cooling, or B, CPU upgrade. I'm not sure yet. But I do want a custom loop. I don't like how loud my graphics card is under load. I'd rather it, be a lot quieter. So, and then I can also overclock the shit out of my GPU.
Right,
I mean, I can overclock it now, but I don't, like I said, it gets noisy. So I like to leave it at stock so it stays quieter. But yeah, once it's water cooled, I'll overclock the shit out of it. So that'll be fun. What do you run your 980 at stock?
I go into MSI Afterburner and I move the slider over to let me see what it goes up to. My power limit. I move my power limit and my temperature limit up to 100 or as much. Like for example, right now it's 110%, and then I just let GPU boost take over. I don't really tweak it too much because I haven't seen an issue to where I've had any kind of a problem with. You know what I mean? That I need more speed. I've seen it turbo boost as high as 1300, and I'm pretty good with that. You know what I mean? If I start having frame rate issues, I mean, I did notice since I bought a 144 hertz monitor, in some games, I can't get 144 frames per second.
Yeah.
So I might mess with it a little bit, but I'm still staying above 100, and I'm okay with above 100. I am
that sounds
currently. Good. Yeah. So maybe someday I'll tweak it a bit, but. I'm really not a good overclocker because I don't have the patience. I'm very impatient, and the reboots and the blue screens and stuff eventually piss me off so bad. I'm just a terrible overclocker.
Yeah. So I'm sending you 2 more links. One's for the TikTok article, and the other one's the 3 article. So if you want to go ahead and do the Tesla article real quick, start talking about it. I'm gonna run off and take a piss because I just chugged a whole thing of Pepsi. So.
You got it.
Yeah, go ahead and start talking about it.
All right. So this Tesla thing looks really cool. I saw a YouTube video of it a couple of days ago, and I'm glad somebody wanted to talk about it. Hopefully they're still watching. So the Model 3, they did the kind of thing you can put some money down in order to get on the list for a Model 3. And like as of this article, which is updated today, there's 276,000 people that have put a deposit down on this Model 3, and it's supposed to be starting at $35,000, which isn't $35,000 for this kind of a vehicle. That's really
affordable,
really good. That's great.
So I just hopped in.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I was talking about 276,000 people put a deposit on it as of March 31st.
It looks nice.
It does look nice, but I mean, $35,000 starting on an all-electric vehicle of this caliber. I mean, the Tesla is the shit. It looks cool. They're building them great, as far as I can tell. And 35 grand is.
Ooh, hold on, real quick. Rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive.
Oh, so the 35,000 is not going to be all-wheel drive.
It isn't. It's going to be rear-wheel. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people like. I mean. Unless you're a bitch that doesn't like to drive your car, you want rear-wheel drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here we go. Right here. The Model 3 will be a rear-wheel drive with an all-wheel drive option. So that 35,000 is going to be rear-wheel drive. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
I mean, that's not bad.
I'm not a fan of all-wheel drive.
Yeah, rear-wheel drive is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I would still spend $35,000 on I drove a Ford Mustang GT. That's a $35,000 rear-wheel drive vehicle, easy. You know what I mean? So, and that's a lot of fun to get I wouldn't want to buy a Mustang that was all-wheel drive, first of all. But this car is supposed to have a 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds. So, this is a performance sedan we're talking about.
215 miles per charge. That's not bad. But charging stations need to be, because I mean, where I live in Vegas, you're about 200 miles away from any other, cities that you'd want to drive to.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, a lot of people like to go to California. That's not enough to get them to California.
No,
So
probably
I'm
not.
curious on how they're gonna work on you know what I mean, being able to either get a quick charge, maybe carry a second charge. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Maybe I don't know why they're not trying to incorporate some form of solar panel on the cars yet. I
That's
know they
one thing.
tried it
Yeah.
once.
Mm-hmm.
I know they tried it before, and there was problems with keeping the solar panels clean.
Oh, right.
But
Though,
$35,000 is cheap.
Well, and 215 miles though, that's going to be if you're not getting on it and if you're not using air conditioning and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you use air conditioning and you get on it a few times, that 215 realistically is probably going to fall down to like 175 or something too. So, that's
But
something to think about.
I will say it's not bad for a start.
No, not for 35 grand.
No, definitely not. It's very affordable.
Because
And
one of the first ones, the first ones that came out, the Model 1, weren't they like 100 or 85 or something like that? They were
unreasonably priced, yeah.
they were a lot higher. So
Yeah.
the fact that he was able to cut it in less than half, that's crazy. And then further on down, the average Model 3 I was reading will cost about 42,000 with the options. So that's not. I mean, 42
Yeah.
grand. That's not.
Well,
That's high, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, you won't be seeing people like me, and people that are in the more, what was it, shit, I can't remember what, like in the middle class buying
Middle
this
class,
car. And the reason why is because for $35,000 or $40,000, you could get yourself something really nice. You can get yourself like a V8 Tundra. You
Yep.
can get yourself. I think if you want, you might be able for around 40,000 to be able to find yourself an SRT 10, which would be
Oh yeah,
which would be a beast of a truck.
Yeah.
You can get a BMW. You know what I mean? Car. You can get an Audi. You know what I mean, for around this price. And those run on gas, and they're probably a lot easier and cheaper to maintain. These will definitely be luxury cars. I like that. See, I ride bikes, so when I see 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, I just think of a moped.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But that's, to be fair, my bike will 0 to 60 with a good launch in about 3 seconds or less. So, and then it'll 60 to 80 in 2 seconds, under 2 seconds. So yeah, that bike will hit 100 miles an hour before this bike or this car would be able to hit 60. So, but that's because my bike is fast. You know what I mean? So it's not.
Right.
It's not in comparison, and this isn't a super sports car that would. I mean, there's 8-second cars and 7-second cars and shit like that are super quick. So it's not one of those, but for $35,000, at least they made it obtainable.
Yeah, and where I'm at in Montana, though, I don't think anybody would buy one because I bought my Tundra for like $33,250, and in Montana you need a 4-wheel drive and cars. Plus, the lithium ion batteries don't do very well when they get to like 0 and under and minus 20 degrees like we can in Montana. So I wonder how this would actually fare where I'm at.
I'm pretty sure they have some form of battery insulation.
Okay, but still, if you leave it out overnight, though, I mean,
Yeah.
unless
No. I mean,
maybe
in general, I mean, they even do that in cars and motorcycles mostly, because motorcycle batteries lose their charge extremely quick. A lot of times they'll have an insulated battery box to kind of just help it out. You know what I mean?
Help it out a little bit.
Yeah, to make it last 3 days in the cold weather instead of only 1.5. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's still exposed to the cold. But I would assume that they would, because this car is completely electric. You can push start a bike. You can't push start an electric car if it's got a dead battery. So I would assume that they came with some form of extreme measure to.
You would think so.
Yeah, to deal with that. But it's nice. Like I said, $35,000 still. I mean, you're not going to be people where they're like, I need a reliable running car and I have $35,000. They're not going to be the ones buying this car.
No, this is a second.
People that say I could use a second car or a third car if I want.
And you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
upper
my
middle
second.
class could be able to get something like this because they have luxury stuff,
Right.
But you're not going to be seeing your middle class or lower income families getting these. But it technically isn't really made for them. So
Right.
That's not who they're appealing to with this market. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I picked one as the Dark Souls one. I don't know if you got it. So apparently someone beat the game in under 1 hour and 42 minutes. This game just came out.
I question these sometimes. That's insanely fast
Well,
for a game.
You have those people that like speed run the game. You know what I mean?
But how would you speed run it if you didn't know it? Well, unless you, God, that's fast.
Yeah, and the thing about this though is if you are like a original Dark Souls fan, then you know that the game was hard. Like
Yeah,
Dark Souls 1
yeah.
was. Dark Souls 1 was tough, and there was no way to really speed run it that quick, you know. Dark Souls 2 was made by a different creator, if I remember correctly, a different director, and it's hard, but only because instead of changing up the style and giving it, they kind of changed the style and made it less eerie like it used to be. But all they did to make it harder was put more enemies. That's how they made Dark Souls 2 harder, if even harder. Just how they made it difficult in general. In Dark Souls 3, I haven't played yet, but from what they're saying, if you can beat it in an hour and 42 minutes, then it is not Dark Souls, because it should not be that quick.
Actually, it says here it doesn't release till April 12th, so he must have
Yeah.
got some kind of an early copy.
Early
or something.
access, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, if it was out, I'm pretty sure my brother would have came out here and told me it was out. You know what I mean? Because he's pre-ordering it, so, which is, yeah, my brother's not even a heavy gamer, so he's
That's
really
a big
excited
thing
for this
then,
game.
yeah.
That's a big thing for him. I mean, he's in the military and applying to be a cop, and he likes he likes guns and fast cars. So video games isn't always his thing, but he does like Dark Souls. So he's been brushing up on his Dark Souls skill. He's already beaten Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. He's just making runs through them now, basically left and right, and playing them.
Getting ready for it, huh?
Yeah, kind of like what I did when Halo 4 was coming out. I played Halo Reach a whole bunch right before it came out.
I've never played a Halo yet.
Really?
Yet.
Why?
Never played a Halo. I never had an Xbox. So I played Halo 1 on PC for a little bit, and I bought Halo 2, but I never finished Halo 1, and I obviously, so I never started Halo 2.
Yeah,
but then,
it's got
but
a
then
really good story. I like it.
It's everybody I talked to said it's an amazing game, but then
Up until they hit Halo 4.
Then it got a little worse.
I didn't really care for Halo 4's story or the game in general, but I did love Halo Reach's story. I thought it was really kind of cool, even though it wasn't based around Master Chief. Halo 1, 2, and 3 have good story. Halo Reach and Halo ODST. Those are all good ones. Halo 4, I didn't really care for it when 343 Industries took over. And Halo 5 I have yet to play and test. But Halo Online, if you ever actually just want to play Halo multiplayer, I can link you to that Halo Online thing. It's fun.
I'm shitty. I'm a shitty multiplayer online, especially with the controller. Oh god.
Oh no, you use the mouse and keyboard.
Oh, you can. I thought they didn't make it for Windows or a PC.
It's kind of like a port. Like I guess a handful of developers got bored of not having Halo, so they basically took like skin packs and stuff from all the latest Halo games and maps, and ported it to PC.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it runs surprisingly extremely well.
Oh crap, that's good.
So and it's better than Xbox because it only runs, I think, at 60 FPS. So you have to make sure you turn your VSync on because the game engine doesn't work too well without VSync since Xbox has VSync. But other than that, the graphics look 10 times better than Xbox ever could. Obviously, you can play it at 1440p. You can turn all the detail settings up high. It's got tons of maps, and basically all it is you go on. You either join someone's lobby that's hosting or host your own lobby. And people just join, and then you just set up a game type and play. So it's not a campaign or anything. It's just Halo multiplayer. It's called Halo Online. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I'll have to show you. I think I already have it uploaded to my email, so I could probably just email it so you can download it directly from me, so you don't have to go. Because it's not Microsoft made.
Oh,
so it's not the easiest to find. You know what I mean? But once you get it installed and running, it's really fun. I like it. So I'll have to let you see that so you can play it. But yeah, I'll talk to my brother and see what he thinks about this speed run in an hour and 42 minutes. He's probably gonna be pissed. I wonder if that'll change.
Oh man!
I wonder if that'll change him on pre-ordering the game because he likes Dark Souls because it's a tough game, you know, and it's fun for him. But yeah, we'll see. And okay, we'll start the Intel one. You have the Intel one.
Can you send that one to me?
I thought I did.
You sent me 2 of the Dark Souls 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should have said that right when I sent them.
Well, I just noticed it now, actually, because I went to
okay.
click on it. I'm like, oh, that's the same one.
Yeah. That's... What? It says Intel TikTok at the top. Did I not? Oh, okay. I'm gonna hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I got you. I screwed up. There you go. That'll be the
Now,
right one.
now I got it from a
All
non-tech.
right.
There we go.
So this is Kaby Lake Intel 10 nanometer. Isn't Skylake 10 nanometer right now? How do we not know this stuff?
You know, it's exactly. How the hell?
Skylake NM. That's all I Google. Skylake NM microarchitecture. It's 14.
It is 14. Okay.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to lean
Oh
to.
wow! So they're already going to drop to 10 nanometer, but they're adds third gen 14 nanometer core product, KB. Okay, so KB Lake is still going to be 14 nanometer, but they're delaying the 10 nanometer. I guess people were thinking that the next because they do the TikTok.
Yep.
You know what that is, right?
Yep, the TikTok. Oh
Okay.
yeah, because now they got it 10. They pushed it to 2018.
Yeah. So what if you guys don't know, and the watchers, if you don't know what TikTok is for Intel, it basically means first they shrink the die, then they work on further bettering the architecture, then they shrink the die again, then they go back and forth. They're adding a third process, third one. So now instead of switching back and forth between architecture refinement and shrinking the die, they're going to throw in a third process, which, if I remember correctly, is going to be optimization.
Yeah, I think you're
sounds,
right.
Sounds like a super useless thing, but
Mm-hmm.
in Intel's defense, the more they shrink the die, the harder it is for them to be able to further better the architecture. It takes longer, basically. The smaller the die is, the longer it takes. So they're having trouble keeping up with that time frame of, okay, we just shrunk the die. Now we got to start working on, the architecture and making it better and you know what I mean, making it more efficient and stuff. So because that takes so long, they're going to throw in a third process that is going to be optimization to give them time in between ticks and talks. The only problem I see with that is, so think about it like this. You get Haswell, or you get Skylake, better yet. You get a 14 nanometer, then they're going to throw out Kaby Lake. That's going to be your new 14 nanometer that was improved on. I don't know what they did for Kaby Lake architecture improvements. And then you're going to get a third 14 nanometer chip that's going to be optimized. So now you're going to hit 3 generations of basically the same chip. So that's what I don't know if I like about it. You know what I mean? That sounds like a gimmick to just get people to buy another same set of processors that are going to get outdated. So your best bet with this is to get them when they first come out. So like this. If you bought a Skylake chip right when Skylake came out, Kaby Lake's not going to offer much better performance gains, and neither is the chip after it. So that means you're going to be able to use your Skylake chip for 3 generations.
Yep.
And then it'll be outdated by a newer, smaller die, shrink, or better architecture chip. So, but buying, say, like I said, the chip after Kaby Lake will be the 3rd gen, I think, right, for Skylake.
Yes.
So buying that chip would be useless because then next year they're gonna come out with a die shrink.
Then it'll shrink. Yep.
So your best bet is to get it not on the tick or the talk, but on the optimization. What are we gonna call that? The tack.
The tack.
Yeah, the tick
tock
tock tack. Exactly. So you're going to want to get it on the very beginning of the new release of the newest architecture and the newest die shrink out there. So basically, since I didn't upgrade to Skylake, I'm going to have to wait. And you know what I mean? There's no reason for me to get a Skylake or a Kaby Lake. I'm probably just going to jump straight to the E, Broadwell E, because I won't get too many benefits from this. And then the chip I get is just going to get outdated again. So... yeah, Skylake. I don't know. I'm not against this. I'm just not completely with it either. You know.
In my opinion, I think the biggest bottleneck that anybody sees right now is all storage-based transfer rates. I mean, these processors can do so much, but we're always limited by the storage. I mean, we don't saturate the PCI Express bus with graphics cards. RAM is they're 9,000 plus megabytes a second can go through RAM, but then if you're still on SATA, you're hitting that 550 megabytes per second. Even M.2 is only getting around, maximum I've seen is like 2 gigabytes a second. And these processors, they can eat more data than then they can eat more than that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know, really, how much more powerful are they gonna get? And 10 nanometers. I mean, they're talking here that they got plans to go to 7. After, I mean, how much smaller can the thing get? I mean, it's like that's just nuts if you think about it.
Oh,
7
here's a roadmap.
nanometers. Oh yes, yeah. I mean, it's incredible from where we've came from. I mean, Q2 2001, 180 nanometers. So we've gone from 180 and now we're talking 10.
Yeah.
That is incredible in my opinion. And the only thing that really hasn't caught up with is storage speed, in my opinion. Everything else has gone pretty well. I mean, but we're M.2. I'm waiting to see. I wonder what the 200 series chipset then, which is going to be after KB Lake. I'm assuming.
Lake.
Cannon Lake. Is
Well,
that
here if you look, if you scroll down, you see how
their
their
roadmap
is Sky Lake,
Cannon
KB Lake, then Cannon Lake, and then they're going to go to the 10 nanometer new.
So
basically, there's going to be 3 versions of a Sky Lake chip, which is honestly, in my opinion, like I said, is going to be pretty useless. Cannon Lake being the most useless because that chip is, granted, it'll still be usable and valid and a good chip, but they're going to come out with the newest stuff literally next year.
Mm-hmm.
So your best bet is to get Skylake, use it from 2015 all the way to 2018, then you can get the new 10 nanometer, and that's giving you the most bang for your buck. Basically, you're getting to use that Skylake chip, newest everything. It's going to be on the newest motherboards, you know what I mean, newest memory support, hardware, hard drive support as well, you know.
Yeah, I just don't think there's going to be enough new until 2018. I don't think.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Unless AMD does something crazy.
Oh, with their Zen.
Yeah.
Wait, let me get my fingers in there. Zen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had to do the quotation marks.
I hope AMD can kick ass with that because they've just been on the shit side of things for so long. They need a Zen. They need that thing to be good. People have lost their faith in them. I mean, they haven't had a new processor. When was the? Because they're on a 32 nanometer still, right? Pretty sure. Vishera.
I think so.
I guess we could really, to be fair,
32?
we could look at FM2 socket though. I mean, AM3 is really old though.
Yeah.
But FM2 Plus is a little newer. But what they're running?
Kaveri.
Yeah. So Kaveri, where do we see?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing much. But Kaveri chips, in my opinion, kind of suck.
Yeah,
28 nanometer. That's what
28 nanometers. Yeah,
and FX, I believe, is 32.
Yeah, so
I think I don't know.
It's pretty old. It's the 32. I mean, that's pretty old. They really need to figure something out. And Kaveri wasn't.
Well, Zen's supposed to be 14 nanometer.
Yeah, Zen's supposed to be 14 nanometer,
which is still behind Intel.
Oh, yeah.
Because Intel's already working on their 10 nanometer coming out in 2 years.
You know what? They have it. They're just, you know what I mean? I'm sure by the time they tell us, they've already got some samples that they're working on to try to get it to happen.
Well, that's how they happen. That's how they already released the roadmap for it.
Yep.
Because they already know how. Yeah, they already have everything planning out. Well, they have to if they want to be able to stay relevant.
Right.
It's not like actually they could have just stopped making processors like 4 years ago and still been beating AMD.
I know. That's why AMD
stopped
really
making CPUs. Why didn't you guys?
They really need it bad.
After Haswell came out, they could have just not came out with any more CPUs. Actually, the gen before Haswell, they could have just stopped making CPUs and just left it at that, and people would still be buying them just because they're better than AMD. And it's nothing against AMD. They're taking forever. What'd they say? Q2 of this year, 2016.
Yeah.
So here's a roadmap leaked. Was that a picture? All-in-ones. We don't care. Godavari. Really? They named it that?
Godavari. That's the 7870K. I think it's a 7870K as they call Godavari instead of Kaveri. It's like
but it's just a Kaveri chip that's overclocked. Yeah.
Yeah, clocked higher.
That's stupid.
Crazy.
Okay, here we go. Up to 4. What is Beema? That's another APU.
Beema is their ultra. It's a mobile, ultra mobile. It's like their
Okay,
low
that's
power.
28 nanometer as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
second gen FX CPUs, the Pile driver, which is not the most current, it's 32, but all FX CPUs are still on that 32 nanometer.
Hmm.
And then you have the Summit Ridge, which is Zen, right? 14 nanometer.
Yep.
And then
Oh shoot, I have it here. It was March 2017 in this article that I'm reading that the Zen is going to get released. That's a whole year from now. That's a long time.
oh wow, okay. Well, they were saying Q2 of 2016, but apparently not. So by time that happens, Intel's already going to be releasing their second generation
Yeah.
Skylakes.
Yeah, if Zen doesn't work out from AMD might be out of the chip game, I wonder. They might
Yeah.
have to figure something out.
Oh,
They
well,
might,
you know,
or
there's a
the
bunch of AMD
enthusiasts.
fanboys that will still rock 9590s. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? 9550s or whatever. 90, I don't know what they are. But people, they still use them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
will say, my girlfriend's got her 980 Ti with her 8320.
oh, she's used 8320. Cool.
Yeah, and dude, she still maxes out any game she wants to play.
It's a good processor. I
She
mean,
has. I mean, don't get me wrong. You put an i7 in there, she might get 10 to 15 frames
Yeah.
better in a handful of games. But when you're at 80 frames a second, 10 frames is not really going to kill you. You know what I mean?
but the big thing is though, take an i7 and then take the 8320 and then video render.
yeah, well, she
that's-
doesn't do
that's-
video editing, so
But if she did, that's when
Yeah.
you'd notice a difference.
yeah, definitely.
You'd note it in Adobe or Vegas. That would be the shame where the shame would be put on it. Because the gaming, it's not a bad processor for a gaming, but you put it into heavy CPU usage stuff.
Well,
And
people say that a 980 is going to get fucking bottlenecked by an 8320, and I've played it on her computer, and I have not ran into that bottlenecking
No
issue.
way.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, don't get me wrong, an i7 would perform better, but it's not
Mhm.
holding back the GPU. The GPU still maxed out at 100%,
Yep.
running at like almost 80 degrees Celsius because it's working. You know what I mean? If you can tell that your CPU is bottlenecking your GPU because when you go to play a high demanding game, you'll see your fucking GPU at like 89%. Then you know that your GPU is not getting fully utilized because your CPU is holding it back. But
Mhm.
even with the 8320 and a 980, that is not the case. Though a 980 and an i7 would perform better simply because the CPU will give it better FPS, not because
Yep.
the CPU is making the GPU work harder. That's not what it is. It's that the CPU is handling its CPU load better. You know what I mean? But-
and they do put out a little more heat. The,
oh,
the
oh
AMD
hell
side.
yeah! I mean, what was it? An 8320 and a R9 270X pulling like 520 watts from the wall.
Mhm.
So that's pretty intense. Off an 80 plus bronze power supply.
Well, yeah, they're 125 watt processors, and when you overclock them, they can go a lot higher than that.
Yeah, and comparing that to Intel's i7s, it's really no comparison. They're a lot easier on the temps or on temps. Oh, obviously temps, but power consumption as well. But that's actually having that 980 in her system. It's pulling less power from the wall than her 270X was.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is, but the MSI R9 270X is power hungry. That thing will eat power especially paired with the AMD CPU, because combined, they just eat power. But well, no, it's about the same as the 270X actually. But that 270X was also overclocked as well, so I was running it higher than it should have. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, hopefully Zen K12. Not really caring about their APU, but I would like to see it. I'm hoping they can stuff something like an R7 370 in there. That would be awesome.
Oh, inside the chip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I see.
I mean, that would literally an R7 370 will power pretty much any
Oh.
game. You'll be able to
Yeah.
play GTA at 1080p medium settings
Mhm.
off of just the CPU, which would be awesome. But we'll see how they do. Is their new APUs going to be 14 nanometer as well? Yeah, it is.
Yep,
Yeah,
I think
because they're
so.
coming out with Summit Ridge, which is a CPU,
Mhm.
and then Bristol Ridge is an APU, and Basilisk is I don't know. So one's going to be a dual core, and one's going to be a quad core.
Interesting that they would bring a dual core back.
Yeah. Well,
Can
no,
send me
I
send
wouldn't
me
say-
that article.
I wouldn't say bring it back. I would say not let it leave.
There you go. There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that, but yeah, let me send that to you so you can
Yeah.
see what I'm looking at here. So if you scroll down, you can see there's a little box for the roadmap, and you can click on it to make it
Yep.
bigger.
Oh, perfect. There it is. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
2015. Oh, here's a mobility. Oh, these are your mobile pass stuff. Oh wow, they have one named Styx, and it's spelled the same way that Styx spells their band name. That's
I
funny,
wonder how they got away with that.
right? Styx. If you guys are listening and still playing shows, which I don't think you are, you should sue them. Yeah, so you see it?
Yeah. No, I do.
Is that
Yeah,
dual
yeah. I
core?
just think that's interesting
It
as
says
well too.
up to. Please don't tell me they're gonna come out with a single core Zen CPU. That'd be so fucking stupid.
That would not be good.
Even cell phones have quad cores.
Yeah, here you go. Up to 8 Zen cores, up to 4 Zen cores, up to 2 Zen. Yeah. I think we're past the dual core phase. I think dual core is over, unless it's going to be dirt cheap, like
Yeah.
like
Honestly,
like a $40.
The G4400, man, is like $50 to $60.
Yeah, we need to be
Yeah.
like a $40. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
thing
true.
there.
Well,
Or
can
the
get,
graphics
You can get
gotta
the
be-
Celerons. You can get like a dual core Celeron, or
Mhm.
with
For nothing,
for
for
dirt
free.
cheap. Yeah,
for free.
it should be
Unle-
for free.
unless
Newegg
the
still sells them.
Yeah. Unless the graphics core is good on that dual core, it ain't gonna be worth it. I don't think.
Dude, even if the graphics is good on it, that thing is literally just going to be used to play Flash games on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Newgrounds or something like that.
Well, Minecraft.
Yeah, no, Minecraft needs powerful cores. AMD doesn't make that. I will say that, dude, the game that I got the biggest jump from, switching from my i7 to my 8320 to the i7, was Minecraft.
I believe that.
My,
It's
my
pretty
frame
CPU
rate, my
intensive.
frame rate pretty much tripled. I went from dropping to like 60 FPS all the way up to like dropping to only like 250, 300. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it was terrible how and that was with a 280X. Now I have 980 Ti. Fucking Minecraft runs like butter. So, but yeah, a lot of people don't understand that Minecraft likes Intel CPUs.
Oh, it loves Intel.
Yeah, you don't want to use AMD on those single core and dual core or dual threaded applications.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We had a couple topics and a lot of bullshit. I think we're good. But
I think we did pretty good. It was a good stream. It was over an hour. That's good.
Yeah, no, I gotta go fucking rush out. It's dark already. I'm gonna bring out my big ass lamps. But I got
Oh, finish up the brakes.
yeah, I gotta do my front brakes and then I gotta do an oil change. So I'm gonna do all that in the dark, in the middle of my street.
Is it
So-
warm out?
Yeah, it's summer.
Oh, good.
It's in Vegas, man.
Well,
It's
I
about to-
always forget.
It's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
to get too warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit like I don't know, we hit like the medium to high 90s at the peak of the day the other day,
Oh my
which
god.
which isn't hot because it's gonna get like to 115, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's definitely starting to get warm out. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go do that, and yeah, we'll do this again next week. I'll try to be more prepared. Hopefully, I won't be like I said. First thing I did when I woke up, I went outside, took the steering wheel off the truck, did some work on the inside. And did some work on the interior and stuff, started taking some stuff apart, then immediately shot over to AutoZone, picked up all the stuff I needed, came back, jacked the truck up and started doing the brakes, and then realized, oh my god, I gotta start the stream. So hopefully I won't be rushing like crazy next week. So, but yeah, we can say goodbye to everybody. We need
right.
an intro and an outro. That's actually
Yeah,
something we can talk
yeah.
about.
There you go.
Do you know someone?
Have you seen mine? Have you seen my intro?
Yeah,
Check
I
out-
did.
What'd you think of it?
It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You think it's worth $100?
$100, really?
Yeah.
I don't know about $100. Why does he want $100 for that? Tell him to make us. Tell him you'll give him $100 for an intro and an outro for our talk show too. Like
Yeah,
10
right?
seconds long. Well, I've actually been thinking. I have a friend on Steam. He's in school for videography or some shit like that. I
Mhm.
don't know. But he's got like $4,000 cameras and stuff, and he's After Effects, Photoshop Pro. You know what I mean?
Right.
He made me an intro for my YouTube a long time ago. I never used it, but he made me one. It took him like 5 minutes.
Oh
And
wow.
Just something quick. It was just a TV with static on it that said "All Talk On." And
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I might be able to talk to him. Maybe I can pay him to make one for an outro and intro for our stream. But yeah, we don't have an outro, so we just say goodbye to everybody. You want to say bye so I can stop?
Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.